Hi guys, I'm back again with another celestial star journal. Actually, I call this one more of a diary. It is 7.5 by 5.5, and it's made with the hardboard cover, the covered in fabric. I've done this nice, just to give it this sort of little notebook retro look here. I've talked about that in a few of my other videos where I've done this painted relief on the corners. It makes it really nice and durable and kind of clean line without extra heavy bulk on the corners. So I've done the painting on the back as well. This fabric is probably one of my favorites. I just love all the colors and it's got like silver, almost like a shimmer through it. So this one has a 2-inch spine, and I've put these pretty little charms on it and beads here. This is a nice big star with purples and kind of iridescent pinks, very shiny. I love how this one kind of peeks through the star, almost like a little moon. There's 7 signatures, and it's done with the hollow back binding. And this one is a little different than the ones I've been doing. This one doesn't have any sewed fabric, like I didn't sew any fabric onto the pages. So any of this little fabric is on the ephemera. And I did add some beads and onto the some of the paper clips, but there's no sewn fabric to the pages. All right, so when we go right in here, I've been doing my little shaker stars in a lot of my journals right now. So that's what that one looks like, and it's just held on by a little brad there. So in the front, I've just added some little pieces to play with in your journal. This is one of my NASA collection of postcards, space. And then I've just added one of the Calicocollage, this like little spirit animal. And then trust that the stars have aligned for you, just on the library card there. And oh, I meant to mention I do often add my own watercolor paper that I've done with all my ink sprays on the front and back, so all of those pages are original. And all the ink stained pages inside the journal are all unique to each journal as well. Okay, so we have some washi tape. I've used a vintage book page or ledger. I've used, I'll just tell you some of the digitals I've used as I go along. This one was from SkadiArt, and I will list all the digitals I've used. This is from Among the Stars. This is the smaller original kit that Calicocollage put out. She has since made it a full kit, but I believe the regular size for the 7.5 by 5.5 journal size is still available. So it's nice to have 2 sizes of that digital. And then there's some ink stain paper. This is just some vintage book page. I've just tucked it in there. Just lots of moons. Here's just a digital image here that I've created a pocket. I've just created just added some washi tape to that repair tag, I believe, and then added some vintage book pages here of just some planets and the sun and the earth there. Solar system. Did a little bit of stenciling, used some antique images here. There's a nice big tag, and this one I've backed with ink stained paper. I've just used my die cut to punch that out. It says Journal Inspiration. I've used, again, I like to use a variety of papers, and I've also added in grid paper so that you can do some bullet journaling. Here's one of the little beads. This was just some extra paper, and I added this little moon sticker. So you do have some white space to play with, and here's a nice big tuck spot here. And I've added a photo pocket where you can peel and stick that wherever. And then this is a little piece of some image there of a moon. And here's some of my watercolor paper, just made into a little tag with some crinkle ribbon. I love how this turned out. I did it the same way as this tag, where I just did the die cut the stars out in circles and then used my ink stained paper behind it. Here is a nice big tag. This is watercolor paper that I've done with the ink staining. I've just made a little shaker tag. It's got like star sequence and blues and turquoise in there, and you can write on the back. Just a little pocket here. This is one of Calicocollage images, and I've just attached some fabric there. Some vintage book pieces to do some collaging. And oh, this one's pretty, this ink stained paper here. It's gorgeous. It goes really well with this kit. It does have a shimmer. I have noticed that the silver, when I use the silver, it does kind of leave a little bit of a, after it's been laying against another page, you do get a bit of a shimmer on the page next to it. Here's some vintage book pages I've got from like all my Galaxy books. This was from a sticker packaging. I thought it looked really nice. It had some planets on the back. So I just cut it perfectly. It makes a little journal card. This is vintage book page. And just some ledger paper. And this is new. It's not old. And here's some more staining. Some nice writing page. This is from the Calicocollage kit. Here's another image. I've just sewn some fabric on there. Nice journal tag too, right on the back. Here's another NASA postcard. This is like another Galaxy. Some vintage book pages on star charts. Tucked in there. Love the ink staining in this one. It's so shimmery and pretty. I've added some washi tape here. This one is from the JournalEmporium, one of Lori Weber's kits. This is Digital Curio. More ledger, some little note, ephemera pieces from the paper pad. This is just a little tag there, and added some more of that sparkly pink trim. Little washi tape there. This is another one of SkadiArt. This is an Amy Joy Studios, another Digital Curio. This one's really nice and pretty. Really shimmery. I love how the black turned out on that one too. It's a nice big image here. And this is Constellation Chart, a really old book from the 70s that I had. I've pretty much used some of that in a lot of the celestial stuff I'm doing. Here's, this is just sewn here, and then I've added this little moon. You can write on the back. Just a little tuck spot there. Here's a little foot. And I've added some stickers and some of my stamping. You might have seen some of these things in my previous journals. Just a little flip there. And here's a little flashcard on the lunar eclipse. Another postcard. This one's Great Salt Desert. Lots of star images in this one. Okay, and then this I had this little stamp. It's almost like a little checklist stamp, and I've just used some scraps to create little note spots there. And just tuck that in there with the brad, and then extra pieces here. This is more vintage book page, and I've just turned this one into a pocket and just added some more pieces for collaging. Another little tag there. This was a collage tag I did from some vintage book pieces. Oh, look at, there's sparkles everywhere. Yeah, so I just collaged that on there. Made a nice big tag. This is just an envelope from a digital of one of my inky pages. I've left it open so that you could do some writing on it, and there is a sticker, and that's another vintage book piece. This again is from the same kit as the Among the Stars. Here is just a fun little envelope I made. It says, "Across the sea of space, the stars are other suns." I just made like a faux letter envelope, and then just did some decoupage of tissue paper. Just used some of my stamps. It says "Received from the Black Hole, 1916." And then I've just added some extra ink stained paper in there. There's nothing on that one. So yeah, just some trim on there. A lot of fun making those little envelopes. Just some extra piece of scrapbook paper, and this is cut from a book page. Here is another digital of my ink paper. This one I did on the laser printer, so it's really shiny, looks really rich. Such a big difference when I print from laser printer to my inkjet. This one is Star Cluster. And there's another one. These are fun. You can actually send them out. They're real postcards, or you can just use them in your journals. This was cut from one of the scrapbook paper pads I had. There's another one of Lori Weber's digitals. I've added lots of, oops, this was supposed to go in here. Little plastic page pockets made from envelopes, those that you get at the Dollar Tree. And here's just a vintage book piece on Venus and some other phases of the moon. Lined paper. There's another piece cut from a paper pad. Another one of Calico's images. Here I've just added just some extra book pages for pieces from just for collaging. This one's about Mercury, and these are the moon phases of the moon. And then this was cut from one of the paper pads. It was one of the 6x6. I folded it in half and made a tuck spot on both sides. And it's got a nice little writing spot there. Ooh, that one's very shimmery and pinks and turquoise. And so here I just added an extra little, like a yellow index card, and I added this little cute little star paper clip to use wherever you wish. Very shimmery. There's another, I thought this one here looked exactly like this book page, kind of. I stuck that one there. And another book page piece from, this one's Falling Stars. These pages are from like the 50s or 60s. And in the back, another postcard. And one of Calicocollage's images. And there's the back. This one doesn't have a pocket. It's just plain, just because I didn't want to bulk it up too much because this was only a 2-inch spine. It's really shimmery too. So yeah, that is this little diary. I like how it holds in the hand. It's just a small little cutie for writing. Okay guys, that is this little guy. So it is listed in my shop and is available. And I will be back again with some more probably next week. So take care, guys.